Hey Doddsay, how you doing there? How's quarantine life going for you?
Yeah, not too bad. I mean, every day feels kind of the same, but, just getting on with it. Doing what the rest of the country is doing. I mean, we've been in quarantine. Is it our third quarantine episode now? I think everyone is getting a bit tired of it.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose that's one way to look at things. I mean, there are, I suppose, some other alternative views to the whole thing.
Really? I mean, I thought things were pretty clear-cut at the minute. I mean, we have to suffer through this for the good of the nation. That's what the news keeps telling me, or the bits that I pay attention to. I mean, we've lost out on several opportunities for networking, games cons that we would have liked to have gone to, the EGX Res, full-on EGX as well. And you're worried about your job, and I've not seen all my family for ages, but, we're making the sacrifices and we're suffering through it.
So, yeah, I mean, about all that stuff.
What do you mean about all that stuff?
I mean,
what can there be about that?
I mean, to give you a brief heads up, it is possible that some, some, not much of course, but some negative press may be heading our way over this whole quarantine-y COVID-19 thing.
Okay, what do you mean by that? I mean, we've both been observing lockdown, right? I mean, we had that, little time when we were stuck in that bunker and nearly ate each other, ha, ha, ha. But, since then, it's been pretty simple. Stay at home unless you've got no other choice. Stay in quarantine. If you've got the symptoms, don't get within 2 meters of anyone outside your household unless you've got no other choice. It's clear.
Exactly, but this is where I think we might get in a little bit of hot water here.
What do you mean by we? Rudy.
Team Dante, team. We are a team. We are a team. It appears that we, as a team, may have, possibly bent those rules. I mean, all for good reasons, of course, but,
But no. Just stop right there. Okay. There is no we in this. Rudy, what did you do?
Well, Dante, we as we are a team, I was feeling a little bit peaky, or we were feeling a bit peaky, you know what I mean?
Peaky? What do you mean peaky?
Yeah, a bit of a sore throat, light coughing that started suddenly, feeling a little bit hotter than usual, all that kind of stuff.
Oh my God, are you having COVID-19 symptoms?
I mean, possibly, but that is very highly unlikely. I mean, we've been in lockdown for weeks, so I mean, I've not seen anyone. I mean, probably just got a cold from that delivery driver kept huffing all over me when I picked up my package. But so anyway, I thought, hang on, I need to be sensible, right? I probably need to fully 100% lock down soon, like you said, yeah?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you got the symptoms, those are the government rules. That's nothing wrong with that. Just isolate, like they say.
Exactly. Nothing. You are totally right. And I thought, well, hang on, I've got children, right? And what happens if I'm incapacitated? Who's going to supply them with retro games?
But, wait, retro games for your kids?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I need to think of them. I need to think for the kids. I mean, little Bethany needs some old school Mario, right? She'll be caught out for 2 weeks, even if it all went well. I mean, so I did some bidding on eBay, won a few collection only job lots, and went for a small drive to pick them up. I mean, all within regulations, of course, obviously.
Okay, Rudy, this really doesn't sound great, Rudy. Where did you go to pick them up?
Oh, mate, not too far. Just a bit of a drive down to Cornwall. Right at the very end, which is
Cornwall.
Yeah, I mean that's why I think I got such a good price, because like the people there were social distancing and isolating because they were vulnerable. They didn't want to go to the post office to post it, so I thought, wow,
Cornwall. You live in the north of England. That's 300, at least 300 miles.
480 if you want to get exact. But you can see that this was an emergency, and the rules don't apply for that kind of emergency. Obviously, I had no choice.
To do a collection on eBay? Dude, that is not essential travel. Look it up.
Well, you tell that to my daughter. She was having a great time on the drive down.
You took her with you? Oh, obviously, you need a kid. Why did you have a kid out on a long drive? I mean, that's not in the rules, is it?
Well, I mean, I just needed to have someone, with me. I thought it was probably safer, just in case I was really ill, maybe.
You drove over 400 miles to pick up a job lot of retro games from eBay. That is not allowed. You had symptoms. You could have infected all sorts of people. Where did you stop?
I didn't stop much.
Much? Where did you stop?
I was very careful. And most places, obviously weren't open because of quarantine and stuff. So just a few service stations, petrol stations, the Eden Project, and a beach for a walk.
Eden Project? The beach? Oh my... Did you at least wear a mask? Did you take precautions?
Well, I didn't let my daughter talk to any strangers, if that's what you mean. I'm quite a good parent.
No, a mask, hand sanitizer, that stuff.
I did find an eye patch.
An eye patch?
Yeah, better than nothing, though, isn't it? So...
No, it is not better than nothing. It's worse than nothing, since you can't see when you're blundering into people without social distancing. God!
I guess that does explain why I kept driving in circles when I wore it. Good thing the roads weren't busy thinking about it. Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Good God, Rudy, what kind of... Oh. So, okay, we need to get ahead of the thing. Should we, issue an apology? Take the fine, take it on the chin, show that our 1 or 2 fans that still listen to us now that we're responsible podcasters?
Nah. Look, I did nothing wrong yet, and it's all about how you interpret quarantine rules. I interpret them that buying retro games was a life or death situation that needed to be dealt with. I had a small child, for Christ's sake. This was essential travel. Come on. Everyone's going to understand that.
That really, really sounds like it's going to blow up in our faces, Rudy. I think we should just... say you're sorry, get it out of the way.
Look, seriously, Dante, trust me, the public and listeners will see it my way, okay? Yeah, I may have had COVID-19, but we also do a gaming podcast, and I had to think of that. This will all be fine, and I doubt I'll even need to mention it again. Hey there, Jambaggers, and welcome to another episode of the Jambags Gaming Podcast with my host, Rudy Manchego, and my co-host,
Dante Rodriguez.
We hope you guys are doing well and staying safe and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, all that. Yeah, we don't want to talk about the virus too much, even though we just spent the whole intro talking about the virus and lockdown and stuff. Anyway, this is now our third podcast.
We're not going to get into that.
Third podcast of the lockdown here in the UK, and we're starting to see things ease up, even though I personally think it's way too soon for that. But it does look like game shops are starting to reopen.
I would agree with that. We're not going to get political here, but I would agree that possibly with the death rate here in the UK being still quite high, and the fact that it seems that we're utterly incompetent when it comes to not drinking outside and making a mess, that it's too early. But anyway, we're not going to dwell.
Nope. That's not our style here at Jambags, is it?
No, not at all. We don't moan. We certainly aren't political in any kind of way whatsoever. We never put political tweets, retweets, anything like that. But all this stuff has made us think a lot about what we're missing out on at this time of year, and that can only be one thing, right?
Yeah.
Right, Dante. What are we missing? What would we normally be doing right now?
We are usually making up some reason for one of us to go to E3 and generally report badly on it, either trying to put one of our fake charities forward and try and make some money out of it, or just generally fawn over Keanu Reeves or whoever might be there.
Yeah, last year was particularly disastrous because you finally managed to get into one of the actual halls. You managed to get into Microsoft, which was a pretty big scoop, we thought. We knew Cyberpunk was going to be there. And you got thrown out within minutes of Keanu Reeves being on stage.
Well, that hot dog was breathtaking.
Yeah, yes, but also you got in a fight with some of the bouncers and the security guards there. You got quite messy. You referred to Keanu Reeves on stage as Johnny Mnemonic. That didn't go down very well with him or his security detail.
No, he really wants to forget that he was in that film, doesn't he?
He has learned a lot as well, martial arts, judging from the extent of damage to your face and rectum between Johnny Mnemonic via The Matrix and John Wick films. He is quite a kung fu master.
I'm sensing a crossover here. Can we do John Wick Mnemonic? John Mnemonwick.
John Mnemonwick.
Could that work?
That sounds... Oh, you know what? Set it in France. That'd be spot on. Make it subtitled. John Mnemonwick. John Mnemonwick. No, you have...
John Mnemonwick?
Yeah. Whose baguette did you steal? It was Johnny Mnemonwick's. Oh, you idiot! That baguette was given to him by his dead wife. You fool! He is going to come up to us with both barrels of a beret now. I don't know. Does that
It could work. It sounds like the sort of thing that you'd find on Ubisoft's TV channel.
Yes, it does sound...
Sorry, Bubisoft. Not
Bubisoft. Yeah, it does sound like one of Ubisoft sort of TV or film tie-ins to one of their many franchises. But anyway, yeah, E3 was disastrous for us last year, but we were all primed for this year, and yeah, it's not happening. Let's be quite honest. It was probably not really kind of happening anyway. Because
not everyone's showing up, are they?
Yeah, exactly. That was no saying. But it's still a focal time for the world to sort of focus on gaming. But then we've been denied that, and basically it means we've had to, we would normally have what I consider to be a fairly easy episode. Being able to comment on what's coming up in E3 or what was in E3, or what we didn't like about E3, or something that happened at E3, or whether E3 was a good E3, all that kind of stuff. We can't.
Stop saying E3. I'm wasting it so much. I want E3. Can we have our own E3, Rudy?
Well, that's what I'm thinking, which is that we would have to write something else to fill this slot that we've got in this part of the year. This is our easy month. We normally just talk about these next 2 months.
Yeah.
In this one, in end of May, we record this, ready for the start of June. We talk about what's coming up in E3, and then we generally do an E3 special after that when we say what came out in E3, whether we were right or not. We can't do that now, so let's just
easy months.
Let's just do our own one. Let's just assume we know. I mean, we probably know. We've been doing this a while now. We probably know what's coming out anyway. Let's just cover it ourselves.
Yeah, or we could just make up a load of bollocks like we normally do.
Well, I mean, as I said, we're close to being industry insiders because you got pretty close to Phil Spencer, didn't you, when you went to the E3 conference last year? By close, I mean you were thrown past him.
I was. No, I saw a little bit of his hair. It was very blurry, but he's a stylish guy. He's a class act,
and that practically makes it Jason Schreier. So let's just. We know what's going to be announced. We'll just do our own E3 thing and just see how it goes. So, just come on, what we think it's going to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think
can we do the legal bit? Do the legal bit as well.
The legal bit. Look.
Yeah, we need to start apologising. Come on.
You may have heard rumours that, I don't know where you would have heard this from, but anyway, you may have heard rumours that one of your hosts, I don't want to say which one, but one of your hosts broke lockdown for retro gaming reasons. We are not going to get into this again. We've covered this a little bit already, but just to say that, yes, we are aware of the allegations, and there is no further comment from us at this time.
No, we're going to have a couple of scientists ask questions about it, but they weren't allowed to talk about things that are political, so they didn't come.
Yes. Also, we don't know any scientists. But apart from that, we would have not let them ask questions had we got any. Okay. Should we move on to the news? Welcome, Jambaggers. It's time for From the Jambags, our monthly news section where we round up all the news that's important for you gamers. Now, today we've got a fairly jam-packed, if you don't mind the pun, jam-packed session, so I'm going to get straight into this one. Dante, you've got a pretty interesting story here, coming all the way from Central Europe. Take it away, Dante. What do you got for us?
Yeah, no, one of the top video game companies in Europe, surpassing Ubisoft as being the biggest video game company based in Europe now, from all the way from the Czech Republic. Laserdisc Blue Balls, which you all know to be big kind of pro gamer software developers, they have a new release coming up. I think lots of people are waiting for it, are really looking forward to it. If I were to say the words Digital Badass from the year 2000. I mean, it's had a lot of delays, so they might change that title when it eventually comes out. But they literally released 6 seconds of gameplay, and the entire internet took a shit fit on that one.
Wow. I mean, I can tell. I mean, I haven't got we haven't released the podcast yet, but I know that our analytics have just gone like through the roof, particularly on YouTube. But that segment now we listen to. This news segment we listen to more than everything we've ever done up to this point, just because of you mentioning the fact that Digital Badass in the year 2000, boom, just skyrocketed.
Boom, yeah, viral already, I'm sure, as soon as this one gets busted. And, I mean, it's not just because it's such a highly anticipated game, and people have been looking forward to it, since their last sort of big open world RPG. But it's just also the fact that it features infinitely more gameplay than all of the recent videos for Ubisoft's most recent Stabber's Code game. Stabber's Code, The Headless Norseman.
And I mean, and it's not that there haven't been quite a lot of trailers for The Headless Norseman. There have been 20 to 30 minutes worth, just that not one of them featured anything that remotely could be called a game, other than some really rather cool CG.
Pre-rendered cutscenes, yeah. So, I mean that's... what people expect in a gameplay trailer these days is to see absolutely no gameplay whatsoever. So it's kind of even more bang for the buck. In those 6 seconds of video that Laserdisc Blue Balls came out with, put Ubisoft to shame, which is why they've moved up the rankings in top software developers in Europe, I feel.
Absolutely, and we would have an interview with Laserdisc Blue Balls if we theoretically knew what they would sound like and could do that accent or understand that accent, I mean.
Absolutely. Plus, I'm pretty sure they're so anti, sort of big business in gaming that they see us as part of the establishment and won't have anything to do with us.
I would imagine that's the case. We are pretty well established now. We're pretty big. Well, that is an interesting piece of news, just because, by dropping that in there, as I said, our analytics has gone through the roof. But I have a bit more news for you now, Dante.
Oh.
Moving on, yeah?
Yes, no, you were telling me about this before. Go ahead.
In the last year or so, we have had some pretty hefty remakes, yeah? We've had Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, we had Final Fantasy VII Remake, and those have been great games. Bold One and Told. I've only played the demo of Resident Evil 2, but I know you were a fan. I've not played the Final Fantasy VII remake, but again, from what I've seen on the Twitter, that is a very good game. So, and with good games, we're finding this is new to most publishers, but if you make good games, typically they tend to make a lot of money. It's weird, but they do. And people have gone, hang on a minute. Yeah, these big budget remakes are making loads of money. So there have been an absolute, I don't know, what's the word? Just a shit ton, to be honest, of a glut.
A shit ton, yeah.
I was going to use the word slut, but then I realised that was not the right word, and it was glut that I was trying to go for. But there's an absolute slut load of big remakes coming on the way. We are getting, they are really, really looking back now. We're getting not just HD, but HDR 4K remasters of Treasure Island Dizzy.
Not even, isn't that one going up to 8K?
Possibly going to 8K so that you'll actually be able to crack, Dizzy like a real egg in virtual reality. Asteroids.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's been calling out for that sort of top-down 2D game to get a full-on 8K remaster, I'm sure.
Yeah. And the first Leisure Suit Larry.
Hey, that was alright. They're stealing our ideas. What the fuck?
I feel that this is the problem we've got. We're becoming so mainstream now, Dante, with our podcasts reaching so many individuals.
That's why Laserdisc Blue Balls they're not returning our calls, are they? Laserdisc Blue Balls. Also, it doesn't help that they're fictional, but yeah, no, they're not. They're
exactly. So it's inevitable that when we have an amazing brain fart, someone's going to nick that idea, boom, straight away, because we're big now, But also Pong's on the way as well. Pong's has been announced too. I really can't wait to see what that looks like in 8K VR, surround sound. It's going to be just a thing of beauty, clearly. And obviously, inevitably, we know that Resident Evil 4 remake's coming along. We just know it, don't we? 2, 3's come out. Yeah. 4's coming out. And this...
I think they may have officially announced it, right?
Oh, quite possibly. But...
easy to miss stuff like that, but
yeah, well, it's on its way, and we've crunched the numbers, haven't we, Dante? And
but between the two of us, anyway,
this is the 17th time that both Rudy and Dante, your hosts here, will have purchased this game from Capcom. We are literally the target market for this. We are the the ones that are going to buy it.
Absolutely. No, you'll be the 16th and I'll be the 17th. So that when we pick up, between the two of us, we'll have bought it 17 times. So we feel that's maybe a little excessive, although it's a great game, so probably worth it. But we think it's starting to get to Skyrim levels of re-releasing, and I think maybe it's a touch too much now.
It is possibly. Skyrim is available on everything from fridges through to mobile phones, through to, beepers, the old sort of 90s things. Even Tamagotchis have got them on there now. But
I think I was in a swanky nightclub before lockdown, and I saw it actually played on one of those urinal games, the ones where you kind of you pee the controls and it plays a little game. Yeah, that was Skyrim, I'm sure.
Yeah, and I think you're going to be seeing Resi 4 in that kind of level of saturation. I mean, literally piss saturation by that point.
Yeah. I might quite enjoy playing Resi 4 while I'm drunk in a pub shooting zombies with my gun.
Yeah, I hope they keep the creepy merchant as well. Like, so you get really
hello, stranger.
Yeah, hello, stranger. What?
Oh, I see you're having a wee there, stranger. What gun do you want to buy with that?
Yeah, I love the Kalashnikov. That's just Anyway,
all right.
On to the next news story, Dante. What have you got for us?
Okay, well, this is kind of a long-running story. It's not going to be sort of news to anyone. It's just the latest development in this long-running story. It's the next-gen console war, and all the bragging rights. Everyone's kind of saying our side, their side, because gamers can't just be one kind of combined unit. They have to row with each other about something, apparently. So all the Xboxes are touting the number of hard flops they're having in their package, and all the Sony Express people are bragging about how solid the state of their hard drives are. What's our verdict on this, Rudy? What do you think?
Well, I mean, it's let's be clear. These are going to be powerful machines that in the end will do the same things they currently do, pretty much, but slightly better.
Yeah, just better than the current gen, because technology hasn't moved on that far since then. And, okay, one might have slightly faster loading times than the other, but I think it's all going to balance out, and you'll pretty much be able to get most of the same games running, looking mostly the same on both sets of hardware.
Sorry for saying it. And I mean, and essentially, PlayStation's going to be better of the two. So, I'll get a PlayStation 5.
No. I think PlayStation controllers are designed for people with small Trump-sized hands. That sucks.
I would disagree, because Xbox is used just as an advertising platform. That the OS on Xbox is just. I don't want adverts for a console that I've already bought. It disgusts me. It just I want to see what games I've got. That's why PlayStation 5 is going to be awesome, and also because Mark Cerny is a sexy god of technology.
No. Phil Spencer's jackets are the way forward. I'm very much sold by his fashion and hair sense. I mean, you've got. I can't deny that. Phil Spencer's jackets are spectacular. Okay. On that point, you got me. Jackets are better with Microsoft. The Phil Spencer jackets. Yeah. Sony don't come anywhere close on the jacket front. No, they don't. But yeah, no. In all seriousness, it's just down to personal preference. I think both systems are going to be about as good as each other.
But this leads neatly into my final story for this month, which is all about We've obviously got the Xbox Series X coming out. But Microsoft aren't just, we've got PlayStation Now, it's got a streaming service to it, etc. That's been around for a while now. But Microsoft are going to, they've got Game Pass, but they're going to come in on this. And the Xbox X Cloud is looking like, pretty much, in my opinion, the cloud-based gaming platform of the future. I mean, it's just going to come out, I think. Microsoft have got a huge amount of computing know-how and cloud-based services behind them. It's going to make any other cloud-based gaming platform, seem redundant, and I can't name which that platform is. But
are there any other cloud-based gaming platform? I don't know that there's one that I'm trying to remember. It's kind of paling off into obscurity at the moment.
No, I mean, to be honest, we haven't heard from it for a good few weeks, and it's
the summoning of the great Google. Google presence.
Whoa.
I sense that you are talking about the cloud-based game platforms, about the mighty Stadia.
Okay, so sorry for our listeners. We are welcoming him for like our 50th time. Dan Danielson from Google, who, although isn't invited to our podcast session, seems to somehow interrupt all of them. Sorry, Dan Danielson, I'm going to be quite honest with you right now.
Silence, you infidel of the Google Stadia. You will learn some humility about the console of the future that is very, very relevant and not going to be made obscure by xCloud or whatever the fuck Microsoft is coming out with this month. The future is Stadia. You know it, and I know it, and we will all bask in its inevitable glory so that we can play games wherever the f*** we want to play games, on the bus, in the toilet, at work when we're supposed to be working, because lockdown means we can play games when it looks like we're working, and stuff like that.
Okay, well, that is literally the most advertising I've heard for Stadia since launch. So you've just doubled your advertising reach there by...
I am working through every single one of these low-level podcasts, working my way up to people like Angry Joe and people like that. I will get there in the end and spread the message.
Whoa. Low level. I'll have you know that we are very, very much low to mid-tier now, maybe. If mid-tier is still quite low.
If you would sell your souls to the Google and endorse the Stadia and bring the Stadia into your lives, perhaps we could arrange for your standing to be improved, Mr. Rudy Manchego.
Yeah, no, we're all right, to be honest. I think...
I think we're good with that, aren't we?
Yeah, no. I think it's not about selling out. We're all for that. I just don't think if we're going to sell out, I'd rather not sell out to Stadia because... that is doomed.
No. Could you f*** off now, Danielson, please?
Well, we've got to get some better cybersecurity on our laptops because he just keeps.
How do we stop that from happening? Is it coming through that?
We've got to stop using Google Chats, haven't we? That's probably why.
Well, I think so. Yeah, we're using Google Drive to keep our scripts on. So he must be reading our scripts to see what's coming up and know that he's getting mentioned. Oh. He's a creepy guy, isn't he?
He is just. I mean, I don't know, Stadia, honestly. Right, let's move on, dude. Let's go on to our next segment.
Now, welcome all to a brief press conference to address the rumours circulating around that my co-esteemed co-host, Mr. Rudy Manchego, broke the lockdown by driving across the country with his daughter to buy some retro games for his GameCube and NES, SNES, all that stuff. Firstly, I have talked with Rudy extensively today, and after hearing him explain his actions, as well as how far he got in trying to get to 100% Bloodborne on the PS4, I am confident that he has acted legally, responsibly, and with integrity. He is also nowhere near getting 100% on Bloodborne, because he's shit. I will not be addressing further rumours that he drove over 800 miles wearing 2 eye patches whilst suffering COVID-19 symptoms, or that he had a urinary infection that meant he had to stop every 15 minutes at a petrol or gas station for a little tinkle. Also, the rumours he drove that way for a job lot of mainly EA Sports games, such as FIFA or Madden from the mid to late 90s, are also palpably and demonstrably false. We are confident he would only go on such a trip for such a purchase as Conker's Bad Fur Day on N64, even though you can get that in rare replay for the Xbox now, or Castlevania Symphony of the Night, which I am sure we can all agree would make any lockdown breach totally worthwhile. We accept that some of you mad lefties will no doubt be discouraged and perceive this as one rule for you gamers and other rule for us, but one must understand that we run a very successful gaming podcast. Therefore, the normal, legal rules may be bent in the execution of the public interests. I will take no questions at this time, and I am sure this will put matters to rest.
Rudy, can I stop doing the Bojo voice now? It hurt.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Okay, so that's good. That's fixed it, right? No more comeback on that.
I don't think there'll be no more attention. I think that's going to just put a bullet in this. That's going to silence everyone else down. How could you get annoyed with that?
State to the gaming nation.
Okay, Jambaggers, it is time for our coverage of what we can only imagine would be happening at E3 now, in the back of our heads, straight through to you.
Yeah, I'm so hyped, Dante, for this. This is what it's about being a gamer. E3 2020, the event that no one wants to miss, although they are inevitably missing it. This is where it is all kicking off, and we are literally here to bring you, as it happens, the announcements. We have got all the summaries from all the big ones. We've got Microsoft, we've got Square Enix, we've got Ubisoft, we've got Bethesda, we've got Sony, we've got, what's the other one that does stuff? EA. We've got them as well, probably, if we can be bothered. We've got all the big names. We're going to go through all the announcements, and the first up on the list, which is no surprise, they always have the big glitzy event. It's Microsoft, Dante, isn't it? What have we got?
Okay, we have Microsoft showing up here with really kind of rolling out the details about the Xbox Series X, and starting that with the detailing on Phil Spencer's jacket. I mean, check that out.
Oh my! I mean, seriously, I have not seen. Wow, I have not seen a jacket like that. Just.
Is fresh leather.
The crowd's speechless.
Really
the crowd
fresh.
The crowd is speechless looking at his jacket. They cannot tear their eyes away. This is what E3 is about. This is a moment. This is another moment in E3 history.
This is in the political, the gaming zeitgeist, isn't it? I cannot take my eyes off that jacket. I may be going blind looking at how shiny it is.
It's so, the leather is so fresh. I can actually see blood dripping from it, like down to the floor. The cow doesn't even know it's gone yet. That's how fresh it is.
I can hear it mooing. That's not the crowd booing, is it? No, it's definite mooing.
I mean, yeah. No, Peter, PTA are going to have a field day with this, but at the same time, who can deny that is a bold statement from Microsoft right out of the gate? They are not messing around with this upcoming generation.
No, and okay, so we got something else about the Xbox Series X coming up here as well.
Wow, it's on screen. They've actually got a copy of the model. Wow, you can see it on stage there. Look at it. And looks like, this is exclusive, guys, looks like the Xbox Series X can also be used as a boombox if you need to raise it over your head to make up with a girlfriend, boyfriend, or partner. And they have, I don't believe it, that is just genius. They have got John Cusack to demo that feature with a brown coat. Yeah, I mean, this obscure late 80s, early 90s reference to a teen romantic comedy is just, I mean...
It is.
Bravo, sir.
It is. I mean, bravo. I often thought that Microsoft would say anything, but clearly they're really giving us the goods this time.
They are, yeah. And they are focusing now on the controller, Dante. What can you see about the new controller for the Xbox Series X?
Oh, the new controller. It looks like it's designed for people with normal-sized hands, not the teeny-weeny itty-bitty ones that you get for the PlayStation 5.
Exactly. They're being cheeky with a little bit of video there of Donald Trump trying to touch the buttons and being able to because he's got such teeny-weeny hands. They want... They want Sony to be the console of choice for the Trumpster. I mean, I doubt he games at all, but yeah, he would have no problem with the tiny minuscule controllers with his tiny little baby-sized hands. They've come out guns blazing in this do here. Now they're just showing up their exclusive launch slate of games coming for Xbox Series X, and yep, there's Halo. Excellent. Can't wait to see what's. And it's finished. Okay, so it's Halo. Yeah, so there's Halo.
It's just Halo, isn't it? Yeah,
it's just Halo. Okay, well, is
that a remaster of the first one, or is that actual new Halo?
It's a new Halo.
Is that actual new Halo?
It's new Halo made by the people who made old Halo, but not the old Halo that everyone likes. The new Halos people don't like. But okay, so that ended rather abruptly. Let's move on now. We have got Square Enix. They are going to do their presentation. Big year for Square. They have had some success, haven't they?
They have. No, they've got some serious hits on their hands. They've got Final Fantasy VII Remake is one of their kind of big hits here, and I think the first thing they're going to announce is about that as well. Oh, they are in fact announcing. Yeah, no, they are full on announcing a remaster of that remake. So not the next part, just a remaster or remake.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I understand it, just see what's on screen right now. Final Fantasy VII Remake Remaster. So it's called the RR. Okay. So rather than release the second or third parts of the original game and focusing on that, which they are telling us now is still another 15 years away, they are now remastering a game that released this year with a new remaster, with the key differences being that Cloud now has a black emo hairdo rather than blonde.
Okay.
And every character that died in the remaster will now live, and those characters swap around. So a complete different finale death roster, as far as I can understand it. That is, well, I mean, trust Square to, who would have seen that they would have revisited one of their existing franchises and remade the game yet again? Who would have thought that would have been on the cards?
No, that's complete surprise. Absolutely. Okay. Oh no, I recognise this theme music. This is the Avengers theme music, isn't it? Yeah. No, I can hear that. No, they're talking about their new Avengers game, and wow, they are laying out a serious roadmap to that. Check that out.
Wow. So there's month 1. Okay, that's gone. Okay, so that's what coming month 1 after release. Month 2. Month 3.
Oh yeah, no, there's some good stuff coming in. Big events.
And
then
sequel.
That's when the sequel's out. Oh, look at that. Avengers 2 Age of Loot Boxes. Yeah, no, I think I'll be pre-ordering that.
They are definitely trying to do an MCU there and build up anticipation. Interesting choice. I don't know what they mean by Age of Loot Boxes. I don't know what they're trying to convey with that message. It seems, I don't know if it's going to be a plot point or a mechanic in the game. It's very difficult to tell, but they are definitely, they are throwing more Avengers in there, and they're all opening loot boxes. I can see Vision, he's opening a loot box. I can see Black Widow, she's opening a loot box.
She seems so happy that she got like a really good character, didn't she?
Yeah, she's opened up, she's got a pink Thor. They're introducing Scarlet Witch. She's got a loot box. Hawkeye seems to have a more prominent part. Yeah, but he's got a loot box. He shot it with an arrow, and he's opened it with an arrow. They are really living up to the title with this. So their roadmap is 3 months long, followed by a sequel.
Yeah, no, check this one out. It's like Captain America's shield's been turned into a roulette wheel, and if your little ball lands in the right place, you unlock Iron Man. Gee, I can't wait to gamble to play this game.
Oh, wow, yeah, they've fit in the Extremist storyline from Iron Man in there as well. There's also touched upon in Iron Man 3, the film, and now, the nanobots can form to make a loot box. Okay, well, definitely very clear signposting, I think, the way that franchise going. Let's move on, Dante. Let's move on to, we have our favourite Gallic publishers, Ubisoft, next.
Hey, Ubisoft. Yes, no, they are going all out with their announcements about Stabber's Code, Headless Norseman. No, that's that's a fantastic, very cinematic, very exciting, pulse-pounding music, lovely graphics, all those nice kind of environment shots, all the kind of rolling hills and the oceans and stuff like that. Yeah, no, that's. I mean, they're saying it's a gameplay trailer, but yeah, no, there's no gameplay here.
No, it's in fact there's just people talking in British accents for over vignettes of countrysides. However, okay, this is going on. It's been 25 minutes so far of this gameplay trailer with no gameplay, and it's over. However, I've got a fairly certain that we're going to see the next one up is going to be. We haven't seen much from the last couple of years. They're going to come out and show us Skull and Bones, the pirate sim that's a bit like Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, that game by Ubisoft, but Ubisoft have got their own version out now, and I think any second now we're gonna see a trailer.
It's coming out. I can tell that.
Yeah, the lights have gone down.
The music, I'm sure it's in the.
Yeah, I mean the lights are out. It's gone.
No, they've left the stage.
They've just gone. They've just left. Literally, they're just showing static on screen. Maybe this is going to be a surprise. The static's going to no, they turn the lights out. Okay, Well, that's it for Ubisoft this year then. They've got a game coming out that maybe has some gameplay in there somewhere, and their other games are not being shown. Okay, well, up next, we've got the next big hitter. We have got Sony. Now, Sony made a big deal about E3 and not being there this year, but they have rented a full theatre, their usual theatre, just outside the E3 venue. It's packed to the gills with press. You can see lights flashing, people taking photographs. The lights going down.
So good that they decided to come instead.
Yeah, their lights are coming down.
Yeah, I'm really glad they U-turned on that.
Here we go. It's just a little bloke's come out with a sign. It says, what is it? It
Go
says
to the Sony only event.
Yeah, go to okay. So he's got one sign. So go to the Sony only event. Okay, he's lifted up a phone aside. It's a bit like the Bob Dylan music videos. His phone aside. It says across the road in 10 minutes. Oh, okay. So, well, Sony have not turned up to E3. Yeah, no. Well, I don't think we've got the feed for that, so we're going to miss that event. Sony have gone out of their way to prove they're not going to E3 by renting the entire theatre and packing it full of the gills, but pulling the wool over everyone's eyes by not actually being there. That's typical Sony, isn't it? You didn't know what they're going to do next. They're just trying to win on the whole, not actually showing the new console. It's a bold strategy.
It is. It's a very bold strategy, Cotton. I can't quite figure out. Well, hey, I mean, those of you that can walk across the road in 10 minutes' time will get to see a lot more than we do. Yeah, well, okay.
I guess that rounds us off with a couple more. We've got Bethesda. Don't say what we've got coming up from Bethesda.
Oh, check it. Yeah, I love Bethesda's one. I mean, Todd Howard, he's always so funny, isn't he? Oh, yeah, here he is, coming on stage. Good old Todd. He's a joker. He has.
He's already winking and smiling. Oh, look at him going. Oh, look at he's gonna. I would be. Look at him. I would be very surprised if he wasn't in any way self-deprecating about Fallout 76 for a second year. Oh no, he is. Oh, he's made a pun about. Yeah. Did not. Oh, I tell you what, all is forgiven, Todd. Don't worry. You just keep releasing turds of games. If you're going to keep doing these apologies, I'm going to keep buying your games. Yeah, they've got people in the crowd that are laughing. They're all throwing money in the air. I'm guessing they're so happy they're throwing money
that he's given them, right?
Air. They are being passed along from the side by Bethesda reps, but. They're being very generous, I guess, to the people they've paid to clap along and laugh at Todd's jokes. Mm-hmm. But hey, have they actually? Is there any other games they're actually going to announce, Bethesda?
We could expecting Starfield, but
music's coming down.
Anything?
I can hear some iconic music. That sounds like a big orchestral number. Oh. And could it be Elder Scrolls? 6?
Yeah, it should be 6 by now, surely. Unless you count Blades, which we don't. So.
And that's interesting. We can see the title, we can see the words Elder Scrolls 6 on there, and I am pretty much 100% certain they have changed the font on that. And are we going to see?
Man.
It just says coming 2030. Okay, so we've had a font change in the last 2 years. That's great. It's really good.
My excitement is at a fever pitch because of the new font. Clearly, they must be so much further ahead than they were.
Look at how much work they made 2 years ago. It's in the last 2 years. They've gone from that pre-rendered trailer with one font to a black screen with a different font. I mean, I can't. Those guys are just steamrolling ahead on that particular franchise that everyone wants. Interesting to note, though, that there was a little sign at the bottom that said that font change had been done using the same Fallout and Elder Scrolls engine as was first created on PS2 era days. So we could definitely still expect that engine all the way through to 2030 by the looks of it. But that seems to wrap it up from Bethesda, which leaves us with just today EA.
EA, yes. No, they're... they've got some shocking announcements from EA. I did not see any of these coming. It looks like there will be another FIFA game out this year.
Wow. I just wish I'd been to the bookies and put a wild card bet on that one, because I think I would have absolutely, been a millionaire by now. I would not have seen that. Oh my God, another Madden game as well. Did you see that one coming?
I had no idea they were going to do another Madden game out. That is, completely blindsided me. Oh, and an NHL game, a hockey. Yeah, no,
God.
Man, they really know how to throw those surprises at us.
For what I would say has been an interesting up and down for E3. EA have come out and just blown it away. I mean, obviously, there's no other games. They're just walking off the stage now, but they've got no other games to show, and anyone cares. But I mean, wow, I was expecting anything but their 3 most famous franchises that come out every year to come out again for another year. I mean, I mean, okay, let's just... E3 have gone now. Sorry, EA have gone off the E3 stage. This is rounding up our E3.
Oh, no, there's a guy coming back. There's a guy coming back. He said he's reading us. We grudgingly admit that you guys quite like single-player games, so maybe we'll eventually give you another Jedi Fallen Order game if you buy the microtransactions this time. Oh, okay, that's good news.
Well, okay, I mean, that's possibly an odd way to end the conference. So, I mean, let's round this up, Dante. E3 2020. It's been a roller coaster ride for us. What has been your highlights?
Well, my highlight has been, just basically pulling all of this out of yours and my imagination, because it's not really happening.
I'd like to make a short statement here. My name is Rudy Manchego. I'm a co-host on the Jambags Gaming Podcast. Further to the statement given earlier in the podcast by my co-host, I believe that given the stories that have been circulating around in the media, particularly on my street where someone put poo through my letterbox, I have decided it's time to clarify the matter of the allegations that I broke quarantine over retro gaming. I would like to say, just set the record straight for what actually did occur. On March 28th, while we were in the midst of the official government lockdown and a mission to stay home because of the deadly COVID-19 coronavirus, I did indeed stay home. I followed all regulations, except when I didn't. But even then, I had a reason. My wife had coronavirus, and we had 2 young children. Faced with the reality that I would more than likely develop symptoms too, I realised that we were facing 2 weeks of quarantine, at least until we could leave the house. This left me with a stark choice: to stay at home and not buy any gaming or retro gaming merchandise, or risk my credibility in the retro gaming scene by buying games digitally from stores like the Nintendo eShop, PlayStation Network, Steam or Xbox Store. Given that I may be left with only several hundred unplayed games in my backlog, and of those only 20 to 30 were suitable for my daughter, I did what I believe any self-respecting parent would do and decided that we needed to get more games before we could lock down safely and responsibly. On that instance, I went on eBay and began to actively find auctions of large job lots of retro gaming toys. Given that there was a lockdown, the usual seller's market rules didn't apply for anyone unwilling to post items. I therefore managed to secure 9 near-mint NES games, 4 loose Super Nintendo games, 3 box Game Boy Advance games, 22 Nintendo Wii games, a broken nunchuck for the Nintendo Wii, a Kinect that I instantly binned, and a slightly damaged copy of Silent Hill 2 for the PlayStation 2, the one with the card sleeve. It also had within it the Holy Grail, a stained loose copy of Conker's Bad Fur Day on the N64. I am aware that several media outlets have spread lies on this matter and contend that I only got a non-working copy of Bubsby for the Super Nintendo. As usual, this is untrue and a downright lie, though I do have a copy of that game. The job lot was, unfortunately, only available for collection in Penzance in Cornwall, whereas I live in the north of England. As a responsible parent, I packed my eldest daughter into the car with me, and we had a full tank of diesel which could easily get us over 600 miles without stopping once. To ensure I was awake and alert, even as I started to show symptoms, bearing in mind I was poorly, I kept a full face mask on, not eye patches as reported in the media, and drank 2 litres of water every 30 minutes to keep me alert. My daughter kept this stocked up so I could concentrate on the road. Despite all of this, I did not need to stop for the toilet once, I can assure you. My daughter did wet herself twice, but we had prepared and brought a light sponge bath for the car. We travelled down, collected the games, washed ourselves down en route and on the way back, and only stopped once on the return journey to visit several tourist hotspots and have a full barbecue in a national park. I will not be resigning from the Jambags Gaming Podcast, and I'm confident the public will fully understand the circumstances behind this trip and why it was so necessary. I will not be taking any questions at this time. Thank you.
Nailed it!
Zing! That is going to... There is going to be no more questions after this about that.
No more repercussions at all. No, we're all good now.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you had it nailed at the your speech, but I think between that and this, the public are going to have nowhere to go and get. No one can get annoyed with that. So, should we start to wrap up the podcast then?
Yeah, I think between the two of us, I mean, the fact that I did it in the Boris Johnson voice and people seem to lap up anything that twat says, it's going to go down well with people.
Yeah, this is a non-issue. Right. All right, mate, let's roll up and let's end this podcast.
Okay, Jambaggers, we are getting towards the end of our podcast, which is traditionally where we will take listener and user questions for the answering at this point. And we have had a question come in from one of our fairly long-term listeners, a Counter Surveillance 1. He has asked, is virtual reality better than real reality? Rudy, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, I mean, this is an interesting question because, as of at time of recording, the reality of the world is, as we are, at recording the end of May, is that there is a deadly pandemic still sweeping the globe, which is causing huge loss of life and disruption to lives, not to mention huge financial damage to economies globally. At the same time, as I speak, North America is in flames over the Black Lives Matter,
George Floyd,
and the systemic racism and police brutality across the United States, which is a serious issue, and there are protests across the US and indeed across the world. And I think I've just seen the news that Anonymous have dumped an absolute shed ton of documents that have uncovered more police brutality, as well as links between Donald Trump, Jeffrey Epstein, and Naomi Campbell, as well as possibly the royal family. So I don't know what you mean about reality, virtual reality being better than a real world. What could be better than this timeline that we've got right here? Don't even know what you mean.
Do you think now might be the virtual reality, and that you were kind of living this out, and we all just need to take off our VR headsets and realise that it was all just a VR induced dream coma thing?
Whoa! My mind is literally, I don't even know. Whoa! I'm just
going to try. I'm just going to try this just in case. Existence is paused. Did it work?
Wait. So I'll just quickly look on the news. Now we're still f***ed.
Oh, fuck. Okay,
no.
All right.
So I guess that's our question, which is that I think it's kind of self-explanatory. Why would any virtual reality be better than this reality? I've got no idea. We did have another question come through.
Yes, we did. Again, technically it was a Twitter poll that we were tagged in, but Gaming Wit has asked, what is going to be our... what have we been playing during lockdown? What is going to be our next purchase that's gaming related? And what's our opinion of the next gen of console? Now, we kind of covered that last part in our earlier segment, but the first two questions, Rudy, what have you been playing, and what's your next purchase?
Wow, what have I been playing? Quite a few different games. I have finished up Terminator Resistance. I played Deracine, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's a VR game by From Software. I played indie games, Sea of Solitude, and I'm desperately trying to get through Bloodborne New Game Plus at the moment and get the 100% Platinum trophy. So that's what I've been playing at the moment. What about yourself, good sir?
Okay, I have been playing Greedfall, which is a not bad kind of classic BioWare style RPG. Maybe doesn't have quite the same sharp writing that BioWare did back in the day, but is still sort of scratching that RPG itch that we're not getting from actual BioWare these days. I have been really casual gaming it with Lego City Undercover. It's just so easy. I know technically it's aimed at 3-year-olds, but it's just nice to play. Skyrim VR, I'm really impressed with how immersive that is. I'm fairly new to VR, but that one's fantastic. Streets of Rage 4, that's just a real retro kick for me. I'm really loving Streets of Rage 4, although it is harder than I would maybe like. Super Hot, again, I'm looking forward to getting that in VR, but I've been playing the standard version of it. Far Cry 3 Remaster, I never played the original Far Cry 3, and I'm still quite enjoying the Far Cry 3 Remaster. Fallout 4 was maybe a bit bleak, so I didn't play it for very long. Those are the games I've been playing since lockdown. I've been getting through a lot of films as well.
Cool. So, Dante, next purchase.
Next gaming purchase. To be honest, I have pre-ordered Iron Man VR. Mostly, I mean, it does look like a good game, but to be honest, I'm mostly pre-ordering it because it comes with 2 free Move controllers, which you just cannot get for love nor money right now. Obviously, and Cyberpunk 2077 and Digital Badass from the year 2000. I've got both of those pre-ordered.
Nice. Yeah, very nice. Myself, what have I got? Last of Us Part 2 is the next game I'm going to purchase. It's coming out in June. Really can't wait. We spoiled most of it in the last month's podcast, so if you want to find out what's going to happen, check that out. But that's the next one. I'm also going to join you probably with getting Iron Man VR. That's at the start of July, so really looking forward to playing that. And
we played it at EGX last year, didn't we? It was a lot of fun.
It was just really good fun. I've been very much enjoying my VR this year a lot. I've played a good 3 or 4 games in the last since lockdown started as well, and can't wait to get some more in as well.
Astrobot VR. And I've played sort of the first level and the demo that came with it. Astrobot, yeah, that's a great VR game as well.
Yeah, it's fab. And so, what is we know the battle lines have been drawn between the two of us on the next gen. Your Xbox, I'm PS5. You're a little bit country. I'm a little bit rock and roll. You're the Jets.
No. Your country. I'm rock and roll.
No,
who's the Sharks?
The Sharks. There's you're the bingo, I'm the wings. I don't know, but I think what we will say about next gen is that we know what we're going to get, but we're going to leave off. We're going to definitely do an episode about next gen console wars, probably more in depth. But I think we probably need to know more about the consoles before we can. Right now, we don't really know we don't know anything about the PS5 other than it's got a swanky controller. We've seen no demonstration. We don't know the price points for either of the consoles. We don't know really what the game situation is going to be for them. For the there's a few third party titles floating out there. We don't know what else Microsoft's bringing to the table. We don't know what Sony's bringing to the table in terms of first party games. At the start of June, this coming Thursday, there's supposed to be a reveal for PS5. We shall see. But right now, we know what we're going to get. We're both opposites, which means that our chances of us being able to collaborate or co-op on any games on that gen is unlikely, unless multi-platform games are
for
available.
A little while at least. That cross compatibility. I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but we've still got our old consoles, and you've still got Game Pass. I'm hoping that we'll be able to team up, and you can help me get through some of this Streets of Rage 4, because man, it's too hard for me. Please help.
And I think that pretty much wraps up this podcast. So, Dante, let's do our usual thing, which you're supposed to do in podcasts. Where can people find us and listen to us?
Well, they can listen to us on all good podcasting outlets, so Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Simplecast. They can also listen to the full podcast on our YouTube channel, where we are really trying to get some video content out as much as possible, but not what's possible with our work commitments.
No, but we've done a lot better with the YouTube content. So for those who want to check it out, over the past month, we put out 3 videos so far. A really great little analysis, trailer reaction from Dante on Assassin's Creed Valhalla, with some dubious
fantastic Viking puns in those.
Yeah, there was quite a lot of work on the Viking puns went into that. I put together a little video talking about 10 retro gaming things to do during lockdown, which was embarrassed that my parents have watched, which was slightly ruder than I would have done otherwise. And we also did a new intro video for our podcast. For podcast and channel, just to get a little bit of a video, people coming on board. So do check out our YouTube channel. Please do like and subscribe if you can. We would really, really appreciate it. And we're going to get some more videos out now. I have a couple in the works at the moment, including top 5 or top 10 most overrated indie games by our indie game editor Gus Van Ploots. I think we'll have
get him back on the show.
Yeah, I will have some more trailer reactions, I believe, as well as more games are revealed in this period.
Yeah. Hey, Rudy. What do you call a werewolf YouTuber?
I don't know, Dante. What do you call a werewolf YouTuber?
A like and subscribe.
So you can also find us on Twitter at Jambags_UK for the main account, and also Dante, your Twitter handle as well.
At DanSolo96, although it might be changed to a Jambags official one at some point when I get around to it. You can also find us on Instagram at Jambags_UK. We have a Facebook page for Jambags, so search for Jambags on Facebook. And
no, I think that's pretty much it. So everyone out there, stay safe in these crazy chaotic times. I don't even know what's going to be the lead into the next episode. Every month seems to be more and more mad.
Yeah, okay, yeah, no, I realise that, no death threats aren't anything to be, ignored. No, we need to take those seriously. Yes, I know, we're getting poo through the letterbox. Yes, I do realise that. No, Mum, I know what the lady down the street thinks as well. She thinks he's I can't say that word. That's too bad even for our podcast. Oh, yeah, okay. No, I'm not sacking him. He's integral to the podcast, and we can't complete our world domination without him on the team. Okay, Mum. Okay, bye, Mum. See you at dinner. What's his number? Hey, Rudy, you there?
Yeah, Dante, how you doing? It's good. No, good to speak to you. How are you doing?
Yes, act.
Ah, bollocks.